Greetings and salutations, good people of the internet. My name is Big Lou and welcome to my workshop. This week's video is a little bit different because I've got 3 smaller projects that I didn't think would fit their own video. Wasn't going to be enough substance to have a video for each one, but it was still stuff that I needed to get done here in the shop. So I decided to take 3 projects and give you a triple header and have 3 videos in one project. Wait, yeah, 3 projects in one video. You know what I meant. Anyway, for the first project, as many of you know, I make a barbecue spice rub that I sell on my website. I'll have the link to that down below if you want to get some of Big Lou's barbecue blast. So because I do that, I mix the spice blend in large quantities, and I want to build a spice tumbler to make it more efficient in blending the spices in large quantities. So my idea is to take one of these big kitchen grade tubs that I got from a restaurant supply store and build a stand that will allow it to rotate like you would rotate like a cement mixer or a rock tumbler or something like that. So it'll make a little bit more sense what you actually see when I'm prototyping. That's what this is really going to be all about, is just prototyping and going through some motions to see if I can actually get it to work the way that I want it to. Fingers crossed. Let's get to work. Okay, the glue might be a little old. Okay, pro tip. This is one of those situations where you always want to double check the air pressure in your compressor before you actually start using your, because, well, it, I don't know if you can see this, how well you can see it, but, see there? There we go. It didn't put the nails all the way in. That one's real bad. Anyway, I was going to reinforce it with screws anyway, but it's just a pain in the butt. Now I got to deal with these nails. I'll probably just pull them out because they're protruding far enough that I could just grab them and yank them. Anyway, that's it. Pro tip. Let's get back to work. Okay, this is why we prototype, because clearly that didn't work. I think I know why. I think it's too unstable on the back end. So, how do we fix that? I'm thinking, here, come here. Okay, so I think if I take this wheel and put it here so that they're sitting on 4 wheels instead of just the 3, and I get one of those like 360-degree like roller bearings and put that back here. Maybe even 2 of them back here. I don't know. I'm going to keep thinking on this. In the meantime, let's move on to a different project. That's why I like having multiple projects in one video. All right, let's do something else for now. Okay, so for project 2 on this, I want to make a rolling camera stand, kind of like the one that Jay Bates made out of a bucket of concrete and an arm of some kind. I've ordered a monitor arm from Amazon that I'm just going to use as the boom part, and I'll figure out some way to attach the camera to that. But in the meantime, I want to go ahead and get started on the bucket part. I'll link to Jay Bates's build article on how he did this, because I'm basically just recreating that, which is why I'm putting this build into this video, because I don't want to basically redo what Jay did. But I did want to document it for you, just because, it's something that I'm building in the workshop. So anyway, let's head over to the miter saw and chop up some 2x4s. Okay, so I just wanted to talk for 1 second about why you saw my drill slipping so much when I was screwing the boards together on the base for the cement bucket. It has to do with the drill bits. Phillips head screws suck. Not as much as flatheads, but they're not great. And if you have the option to get the Torx head or the square head, or I think they're called Robertson in Canada, shout out Canada. Wish I was there because it's hot here. It's 9:30 in the morning, and it's 86 degrees and 65% humidity. Anyway, sorry, squirrel. So yeah, you can see here the difference in this B-roll that I'm showing from the Torx head and the Phillips, and what it looks like. And the Torx head they grip better, they drive better, they're just better. If you have the option, make sure you get the Torx head. So, pro tip. Right, that worked. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay, so I got the bucket on the wheels with the frame and everything like that, and the screws that you saw on the inside here, showing a little bit of B-roll, are gonna help the concrete adhere. I'm filling this thing with concrete. Did I not mention that? Yeah, it's gonna be good. Anyway, the screws that I put through the walls are going to help secure the wheelbase and the frame to the bucket, to the concrete, and it all kind of be one solid block of material, which is a good thing when I'm trying to move it around the shop. So just a couple of pro tips here that I want to mention. Number one, anytime you're putting wheels on or anything that's got a whole bunch of different screws, it's always a good idea, at least for me, to take a minute or so to stage your screws and your washers so that they're all together, and it just makes things so much easier. You're not fumbling around with a screw and a washer and this and that. Where's my screwdriver? Where's my blah, blah, blah? It's all just right there, ready to go. It just takes a minute or two to put everything in line and make it just that much easier to just grab it and put it in where you need to go. So that's number one. Number two is anytime you're putting casters on something, you always want to go ahead and hit it with a little bit of WD-40 or dry lube spray or some type of lubricant that's a dry lubricant to keep the dust out of it, especially in a garage or a workshop setting where there's going to be a lot of sawdust, a lot of things that can get in there and gunk up the bearings and keep it from rolling smooth. So the casters that I use are all on different things. You'll see them here in this roll, and I'll put a link to them. I just get them on Amazon. I've got them on my flip top cart. I've got them on my drill press. Got them on my Shop That cart. They're like $15 on Amazon, and they're fantastic. I love them. So that couple of pro tips there. So now that we got all this ready, let's go ahead and get the pole or the galvanized pipe that I'm going to be using mounted in the concrete. Let's get that prepped, because we're getting closer to pouring the concrete, and that's the thing that I won't say dreading, but not looking forward to. So let's get to work. While the cement's curing, let's go ahead and get back to the spin bucket, the tumbler bucket, and see if we can't get that figured out, because I think it's going to be a really cool idea if I can get it to work. Let's go. Okay, so I think the concept here is sound. It's just the execution that is flawed. Number one, I don't think the materials that I'm using are accurate enough to get the results that I'm looking for. I think the wheels that I'm using have too much wobble in them to let it roll smoothly. The other thing is it's on such an angle that the wheels are, only touching on one corner. You can kind of see right here in some of this B-roll that I'm showing that they're not flush. And I think maybe if I had mounted the wheels at an angle, anyway. This is really just a proof of concept and some prototyping, which is why it's not its own video. And I think we've spent enough time on this particular project for this video. So let's go ahead and shelf this for now. I can use what I have for doing some, tumbling and mixing and whatnot. And I have some ideas on how to improve this and make it more permanent, maybe add a motor or stuff like that. So be on the lookout for version 2 of this in its own video sometime down the road. So anyway, while we're, I think the concrete's cured now, so let's go ahead and move back over to that project and get the camera arm mounted. And let's see how we're going to do that, because I have some ideas. Yeah. All right. Okay, so turns out I'm an idiot, or at least not as smart as I like to think I am. I put the threaded T-nut insert on the wrong side. You can see here in some of the B-roll that I'm showing that as I'm trying to screw in, it's drawing the T-nut out of the thing, which I should have put it on this side so that when it just physics. Who knows? Anyway, so rather than rebuild that whole thing or try and fit that on the inside, I just got some of these. It's a T-nut with can you see that? With a flange on it that has screws. I'm gonna use some epoxy and screw it, and it'll be fine. So just lesson learned. Just think through your physics before you actually glue stuff together, because yeah. Anyway, okay, moving on. Okay, so the plan is to be able to connect the camera to a mobile arm, and rather than building an arm, I'm just going to use this monitor arm that mounts to a wall and do that. I got this on Amazon. I'll have the link to it down below if you are looking for a monitor arm. This thing is rated to hold, I think, 35 pounds, which is more than enough for my camera and the fluid head. And this is the fluid head from my tripod. Or it's not from my tripod, it's a different tripod. Anyway, how to get this to mount to this? I have some ideas. Okay, so this is a little bit meta. You can see I've switched. I'm actually recording on both because, you know, that's the only way you're going to get the chance to look at things. So you can see here I've got my lav mic towed in on shoe on one side and my shotgun on the other, and it's got full articulation. You come back over here, you can see the full faceplate. It's got the little bubble level right there. this moves this way, this way, this way, all around the boom arm. I need to make a new handle for it because the handle that I bought wasn't long enough to actually put any tension on it, but this screw will work for now. But there it is, and it works really, really well. I'm very pleased with it. So, the concrete is ugly. I may put some rocks in there or something like that, but other than that, I think it's time to move on to the next project. Next project is going to be, I knew what it was. This is why I should have a script. My Bora station that I use with the 2-inch styrofoam insulation. I made the mistake of getting I don't need to keep that recording. The Bora centipede unit that I have is it's only the 6-foot one. I should have bought the 8-foot one when I bought the whole thing, just so that it would support a full sheet of plywood. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be building some extension platforms so that the full 8-foot styrofoam will fit on and cut in half and it'll fall. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm talking too much. Let's get to work. We got more stuff to do. All right, let's go. Okay, so one of the things that you really want to be careful of when you're putting together material that is only held together with pocket screws and it's got other things that are going to be attached to it that are going to secure it, is that before it's all secured, you want to make sure that you're supporting it, because as you can see here from this footage, well, things didn't go exactly according to plan, and I kind of severely wounded the structural integrity of one of these joints. But as you can see here from this footage, I just used some scrap material. That don't ever throw away your scrap also, because if you remember the thing that I ran off on the bandsaw for the block, I had that little thin strip. I just threw that in my scrap bin to, maybe use for another time, and sure enough, it was the exact right size to use for this. But that's all in the past now. It's fixed, it's glued, it's secure, and we are good to go to try do a test fit and make sure that this thing sits on the Bora centipede the way that I hope it does, because I really hope it does, because I really want this to work. All right, let's check it out. Okay, that's it. That's the video. 3 projects, 2 complete, 1 kind of fail. But I did learn a lot with that the Tumblr video, and I have a lot of ideas for what I want to do for version 2 and how I can make adjustments to make it work better. And you want to get subscribed and stay tuned for that video. The camera stand, amazing. I should have done that years ago. It just works so good, and I'm thrilled with how I was able to get it to be exactly the way that I want it. And with the camera arm, with the monitor boom arm, with the gas strut like that, it's just very, very cool. And then of course the Bora Centipede frame. It's heavier than I expected. I don't know why it's heavier than I expected. I should have expected it to be weigh that much. I was initially going to put a hinge in between it so it could fold up real nice, but it's kind of unwieldy as it is. I mean, I'm glad that I did it. Once it's in, it's much more secure than it was, and it's just getting it to the point where the setting it up is going to take a little bit longer to get it there, but I'm okay with that. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. The next video I'm going to be doing is a rolling tool cart, like one of those Husky tool chests, but made myself so it could fit right here in this space, because they don't make them in that specific size. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to want to be sure that you stick around for that. In the meantime, I'm going to get started on my next project. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and stay safe. We'll see you next time.